Hello, YouTubers. Hey, today this video will deal with the subject 4 facts about how to lose fat in your face and those chubby cheeks. But before I get into that, and that is one of the most uh, requested searches on Google. I mean, when it comes to weight loss, people are concerned about a fat face. And, this is understandable. This is what people look at. They look at our face. It's the first thing they notice about us. And if your face is, in your opinion, fat, you become self-conscious about it and you want to do something about it. But before I get into the actual remedy there, I just want to go over 4 basic facts about uh, losing fat in your face. And the first fact is that your face fat is truly a reality, and fat can be stored in your face in 4 distinct areas. I want to look at that. First of all, it can be stored in what is called the orbital fat zones, and that's simply the area in pink there, where the area around the orbital bone, around the eye socket, and then what I would call the temple area. And fat definitely stores up there. And the problem with fat storing up in those areas is that it takes away the expression of your eyes. There's so much expression that our eyes give to our personality. People can see different looks, and when your eyes are basically bloated with fat, it really takes away from your ability to express yourself, and it also just takes away from your good looks. The next area is the forehead fat zones, and typically our forehead, there's the tissue. There's not a lot of tissue before there's bone, and so the layers of fat in the forehead are fairly thin, just a few millimeters. But when they are plumped out with fat, when that fat zone is kind of maxed out, it really has the effect of making our forehead look, just big, too big in proportion to the rest of our face. And it also diminishes what's called the supraorbital bridge. And there's a natural bridge on the nose that kind of is a dividing line between your nose, your eyebrow line, and your forehead. And when you're carrying too much fat in your forehead, that all disappears, and it just kind of delineates the natural divisions of your face. The next area is the cheek fat zones, and these are called the nasolabial compartments. And these are the areas when you smile, there's a little line between your nose down to the corners of your mouth when you smile, and it would be those areas above that line that uh, you that's where oftentimes people store a lot of fat, and it becomes a problem because, again, it makes our sometimes would make our eyes and mouth look smaller in proportion to the rest of our face than when you have a more slender look in your face. And it also diminishes your ability to show facial expressions. And then finally, when we look at the jaw fat zone, and that runs all the way from the corner of your forehead down to under your chin. And oftentimes this is called a jowl, or people use the term chubby cheeks. And it again can really make you look, you know, just look different. Now, this is an actor that most of you are familiar with, a pretty famous guy. That's before and after, and the difference and the amount of fat in his face. I mean, he just looks like a different person when that face slendered down. I mean, there's no comparison. And this is the case often. Here's another movie star before, when his face was slender, after he put on considerable weight on his face, and just all the expression is gone. The eyes look squinted. It just has removed the glint from his eyes. Um, it's undeniable how much difference we're looking at. There again are some famous actors, Steven Seagal and Tom Hanks, and the two guys on the end there are. Age has got a factor here, but the fellow in the middle, look at the difference in his appearance. I mean, facial fat is just a huge determinant on our appearance. Now, so fact one is face fat is a reality, very big reality, and it really distorts our look and even how we're perceived by people, our personality, how we come across to people. It's a big, big deal. So, just looking at some of those. So, fact one, your face fat can be stored in four distinct areas. Fact number two, you cannot, I'm going to stand by this, you cannot exercise, stretch, puff, purse your way to a skinny face. I've watched some of these videos on YouTube and they're ludicrous, just ridiculous. And most of those videos where people are showing you different exercises to do with your face, you'll notice most of the time these are people that don't have much fat on their face. Let's quit kidding ourselves. That is ridiculous. Most of those procedures are just silly. Now, fact three is that some of the features on our face that we think sometimes may be because we have fat in our face are really not fat, but they are genetic predispositions. In other words, some people can be perfectly pretty slender and have very little fat in their face, but have what might be perceived to be chubby cheeks because it's genetically part of their makeup. And the same goes for the forehead or the jawline, orbital areas. This just might be, and you have to come to grips with it. This is just part of the way I look, and quit obsessing about, what can I do about it? You can't do anything about genetics. And then fact four, and this is if you don't get anything else from this video, but this one thing, is that the only, and I mean this only, overall fat loss will reduce the appearance of chubby cheeks and fat in your face. All of these folks, this guy lost a bunch of weight. He didn't do exercises to get his face from changing from this to this. No amount of exercise. He lost weight. This fella lost overall weight. And I know the story on this actor. He lost a considerable amount of weight. And it showed up in his face. Now, oftentimes people grow discouraged. They'll lose a lot of weight. And then one of the first areas that a lot of people start to lose weight in is their belly. That's a storage area. High insulin levels deposit fat in the stomach area. And oftentimes that's where our weight loss begins to manifest first. But then later, I mean, your face is going to show the effect. Every part of your body is going to show that weight loss. And we can't determine what part of our body's going to lose weight first, or lose size or perception. We can't do that, but we know this much, that overall weight loss will remedy fat in your face. That's how to lose fat in your face, is to lose weight overall. In the description box of this video, there's a link to an excellent resource on how to prepare your meal plans with metabolic foods that speed up your metabolism, that are excellent in their ability for you to lose weight. And I just encourage you to check it out. Hey, that's all I've got today. And thanks again for watching my video. Like and subscribe.